What's up, everybody? Welcome to Metallysis for another album review. Today we're looking at Transcending Material Sins by No Raza. So let's start with the album cover. This is a pretty creepy album cover, if I do say so myself. It looks like a witch hag with some spiky horns coming out of her head and a snake on top of her head. Perhaps casting some kind of spell, some kind of dark mark on her hand. In a bleak forest, perhaps some moonlight coming through the forest, something like that. The logo looks super cool, very metal. I'd give it a solid 4 out of 5. Makes me want to listen to the music on the inside. And this is not No Raza's first album. I had never heard of No Raza until now, so this is the first album for me to review. So in terms of the music, they're very much a death metal band. So if you're not into death vocals, you're not going to like them. And if you're not into pretty unrelenting blast beats, you're also not going to like No Raza, which can be a bit intense at times. I had to put my headphones down a few times just because I can't do the blast beats nonstop through a whole album. And I was getting a little bit fatigued towards the end, and I think the second to last song, I was just not feeling it anymore, so I gave that one a 1.5. The Encarn y Huso, if I'm saying that correctly, it's in Spanish. But their outro was pretty excellent. So there's actually quite a few highlights. They're very talented musicians. They have really good guitar playing, really good guitar solos, and it's not just blast beats all the time. It's a very melodic kind of death metal, which is the kind that I like to listen to, although I can't understand exactly what the singer's saying. I can make out bits and pieces. Some of them is in Spanish, so I can't understand those parts anyway. But the very first song on there, probably the best track and the whole album, On the Verge of Dying Out, is just got a really ripping riff in it. Some like triplet chugs and lots of aggression. Has a really strong groove to it. You could listen to this over and over. I've been listening to this song specifically quite a lot, and it's made my playlist. So that one's a 5 out of 5. Alteración Mental, if I'm saying that correctly. I don't know. Has really cool ambiance about it. Some synth melodies in there, which I think goes really good with the vocals of the singer. Breaks up all the blast beats from the first part of the album, gives it sort of a different feel. Really excellent guitar playing on that one, also 5 out of 5. Reborn, Fratricide, Decontamination, and Scorn are all 4s or 4.5, somewhere in that range. All excellent guitar playing, really good heavy breakdowns, talented guitar solos. The vocals don't change up much, but that's typical of most death metal in the genre. I could use with a little bit less of the intensity of the blast beats of the drums, because that after a while you're like, okay, it might give me a headache a bit. But the music itself is really, really good. Attrition and Sail and Rot are kind of the filler songs for me. Ancient Wars is all right. It got an asterisk on Apple Music, but for me, I was like, I wasn't feeling it so much. It might have been because it's a high-speed blast beats, and I'm a little bit less into that. I prefer melody in my music. But overall, I think this is a really good, strong album. And just when you're starting to get fatigued with all the blast beats, Transcending Material Sins is an instrumental that comes in the end, slows down the pace a bit, gives you some good instrumental feel, very melodic, very beautiful, but also in a death metal-y kind of way. Great way to end the album. So I think it's a really solid album. I'll give it a 4 out of 5 overall. Probably will make the top 10 list at the end of 2020, but so far there's a lot of good music that's come out, so we'll see if it makes it there. Death metal is a genre that I kind of have a love-hate relationship with. I tend to not be super into death metal. I prefer it when I can understand what they're saying. Like, I can understand Alexi Leo from Children of Bodom a bit better, or Randy Blythe from Lamb of God enunciates his words. I would like to see that a bit more, and tone down the blast beats a little bit, give it some tempo variance, which they do, but a little less of that, and I think it would be good. But I know that's kind of the core of death metal, so that might not make it death metal anymore. But let me know what you all think in the comments below, and we'll see you next time.